Konbanwa, James desu. 2 truths and 1 lie. There's a story behind each one of them. I work out a couple times a week at Gold's Gym. That's right, Gold's Gym. Place for which I guess Arnold Schwarzenegger is pretty well known for. Gold's Gym is all over Japan. And there's 2 in Tokyo that I go to, one in Harajuku and one at Omotesando. And used to go to the Harajuku one sometimes, but I usually go to the one in Omotesando. And let's see, I mean, it's mostly just ordinary Japanese folk there, you know, some muscle-bound folk and some middle-aged ladies who are just there for the aerobics class. But one other group of customers that shows up at Gold's Gym a lot is American professional wrestlers. They often come to Japan to wrestle, to work, to perform. Few faces I've seen that I knew right off the bat. Matt Bloom, also known as Albert, because of all the piercings all over his face. Later, well, back when I was watching, you see, around, I guess, 9 years ago, when I first got cable, WWF, I think it was still WWF, was available on like non-pay-per-view normal TV. And so I used to watch a lot at the time, and at the time Matt Bloom was known as Albert, I believe. Saw him, saw, who else have I seen? Saw Travis Tomko, that's his name. Which is interesting because Gold's Gym has a rule against tattoos, but he obviously doesn't obey that rule. Oh, domo. 動画日記をやってます。おー、そう。YouTube で動画日記をやってます。
俺映っちゃっていいの？
いいよ。自己紹介。
バスがなくなっちゃった。
誰が？
俺バスで帰ろうとしたらバスなくなっちゃった。
来てた？来てないでしょ。
そう。見てなかった。
あららら。
歩いて帰ろう。
そんなに遠くないし。
じゃあね。
じゃあね。That was Louis, the guitar player for the band I sort of tried to do a couple of years ago named Lemonade. Anyways, Travis Tomko, yeah, lots of tattoos despite the rule against not having any. A couple other folks I saw, a couple other professional wrestlers I saw. A black dude and a white dude who would always come in together, and I couldn't remember their names, but I knew I had seen them someplace, you know. And it was just a general rule of mine to not talk to them, you know. I mean, not say, oh cool, I like your stuff, because they come there in their private time, they come there to relax, just as individual people, and don't want to be a nuisance to them. So I'm walking to the locker room once, and I hear from behind me, I hear someone say, hey bro, and I turn around and it's the white dude of this pair of one white dude and one black dude. And he says, you know any metal bands around, any good bands? And my favorite band at the time was Dachuda, and so I recommended them. And I talked to them a bit, and I said, oh, by the way, what's your name? And he said, Bubba Ray. And I looked him up when I got home, and oh my god, that's Bubba Ray Dudley. That's the guy with the tables, ladders, and chairs I used to watch all the time back when WWF was on Fox Japan. So, Bubba Ray Dudley did in fact ask me if I know any good metal bands. That's true. What was the other one? Oh yeah. One of the category of people you often see at Gold's Gym are, well, professional fighters of one kind or another, including K1, including Nicholas Pettis and Peter Graham. And at the time I was working out with a trainer, and my trainer would talk to anyone, including Peter Graham and Nicholas Pettis. And once I was doing leg presses, which is a machine where you lie back and you push with your legs this heavy weight up into the air at 60 degrees or sometimes a 45-degree angle. Well, 60 degrees off vertical, 30 degrees off the ground. And at one point I was lowering the weight, you know, and lowering the weight and bringing my body into sort of a squatting position, leaning back, and I farted in front of Peter Graham and Nicholas Pettis. And Peter Graham was really nice about it. You know, he's like, it's okay, it happens to me all the time too. And I said something like, oh, that's very nice of you. And he was like, no, really? All indignant because I thought he was just being nice. But, yes, I did in fact fart audibly in front of Peter Graham and Nicholas Bettis, and Peter Graham was really cool about it. He assured me that it happens all the time. Witches of Eastwick was filmed mostly in the suburbs south of Boston. Mostly in Cohasset, Scituate. The lobby of, what's his name? Well, Jack Nicholson's mansion. The lobby was actually the lobby of the, what was known at the time as the Wang Center for the Performing Arts in Boston, now known as the City Center or something like that. So all the extras in that film were area kids. All the school kids in particular were area kids. Me and my brothers were also extras in that film. We were in fact in 2 scenes. There's the lie. We weren't in 1 scene, we were in 2 scenes. One scene we were in, the scene where the principal is giving a big long boring speech and it rains suddenly, that took about 3 days to film. We were in the audience. I'm pretty sure you can actually see my wrist behind Cher at one point. The other scene we were in is near the opening, where there's an aerial shot from behind the church, I think, and you can see some kids running around the town, running across the town square. 4 kids, 3 of them are me and my 2 brothers. The blonde spot is my youngest brother. So me and my brothers were in fact in 2 scenes in Witches of Eastwick. That was the part I lied about. I said we were in 1 scene. We were in fact in 2 scenes. Yeah, I know I cheated. I'm sorry. So, what are your 2 truths and 1 lie?